opportunities to talk about this more, but today we're going to conclude further, meanwhile, our conversation on Nigeria 48 years after the end of conflict. The last two times, we've been talking about the Aburi Accord, which was an African solution for an African problem, and the reasons we got there and the reasons that it didn't work, and what are the after effects of not having that work. So as we discussed this afternoon, we would like to not just talk about the problems, because I'm pretty sure you could help us enumerate as many as there are. We would like to talk about solutions. We would like to look at all the things we've talked about Nigeria, what happened 48 years later and where we are today, and look at some of the solutions that we could begin to think about and apply and do something about that will help us get to a better place than where we are. Mazi Odeluga.
Yes, Dalo, Mazi Oke Okachuku. Like the Igbo will say that Abauzo Welemba
Omechin
Normanchi.
Yes.
A lot of the issues and problems that the Igbo nation has faced within the Nigerian political space are not new. They're more than 100 years old, some beyond that. So every generation have had their own story to tell and have had their own experiences. So, but I think it behoves us looking forward in the spirit of Nkiruka.
Yes.
That what lies ahead is better than what is behind.
Yes.
Makas n'ụzọ mma. Yes, ụzọ dị mma agaghị mgbe na-abụ. So we're going to be finding out what are those paths, and I think that is really what is key. What are those paths that we can walk? Yes. Ije mmiri is the path you can always go through all the time. Ije nkụ is temporal, and so we cannot but borrow from our cultural heritage, what I call the Igbo indigenous knowledge.
Yes.
And I truly believe that part of the reason why we are in the quandrum that we are now is because we've abandoned some basic truths about who we are and the knowledge and the wisdom that our ancestors passed on to us.
Yes.
In the bid to acquire Western style education, we were educated away from who we are and from our culture. So the first thing for, I would say, at the individual level is to accept who you are.
Yes.
No matter what people say about us and whatever people do to us, let me tell you, you are Igbo because that's the way God created you.
Yes.
You were not part of that conversation. So the sooner you begin to get comfortable in your Igbo-ness.
It's a lottery of birth.
Yes.
Yes.
God chose you as Onyi Igbo. And it is from that Onyi Igbo-ness that you will be able to fulfill your life purpose.
Yes.
Remembering this thing, this core principle, that Ndi Igbo bụ ndị na-egbo mkpa. So how do we continue to solve problems? So first is, can I move away from this victim mindset?
Yes.
We've talked about so much about what they have done to us.
Yes.
Or what we have done to ourselves.
Well, we haven't talked as much as about what we have done to ourselves. We've talked about what others have done to us much more.
But we have enough.
Yes.
To really start. And so first is accepting who we are. So onya si asu Igbo mo ya na abefa mo ya you know onyemeni fele. You see, because I think in Igbo, my thoughts are in Igbo. My life is based on my Igbo upbringing.
Yes.
Everything flows at who I am, and that is because that's who God made me.
So that you think in Igbo, everything flows Igbo. What does that really mean to be Igbo? Kedu, what are the worldview? Kedu, the thoughts that make you Igbo? What would you see in somebody saying Onya Igbo?
it's not so much as what I see,
Yes.
but what we know and believe.
Yes.
Ezioku Bondo. That was how we built our communities. People spoke truth.
Yes.
The essence of life is truth.
Yes.
That even goes back to what the good book teaches us.
Yes.
Jesus says, I'm the truth. Secondly, mado bụ mmụọ dị ndụ. The sacredness of life is a core central belief of the Igbo, which today, if we stay with it, Igbo Ochu had its repercussions.
Yes.
Life as being sacred then allows us to create the kind of relationships that we should have with our neighbors, with ourselves, among ourselves, that is good for development. You got to go?
Yes.
Because part of the challenge at the individual level is lack of these truths and knowledge and principles in our lives. The other thing that comes to mind is the concept of Nkemjika.
Yes. So you talked about development. So enwalo personal development. Mana ikukwalukwo maka living in a community and living with our neighbors. How do we navigate the personal development and the community development? Where got an Nkemjika or Nkenji asumuwem Nkenji within the community?
Nkenji, you see, if I have confidence, if I have that sense of worth,
yes,
then I can come within the community and be effective to contribute. But if I'm ashamed of what is, and that was the wisdom of our fathers.
yes,
That uche baba.
okay.
So I respect your opinion because that is your opinion.
Yes.
It does not say anything about whether you're smart or whether you're ignorant or whether you're educated, whether you have 2 PhDs or 4 PhDs. You see, so that was part of the thing that began to break down in our culture. When the man who now was taught that Mungo Park discovered River Niger comes back to the village, he will try to make the villagers think that because he's learnt this new knowledge that he is better.
Whatever was before is no longer.
As no even though another primitive man or be all suit now more name if apolo yibo bosi oyil suit or nika balo you can't be a black Englishman.
That's confusion.
Confusion.
By the way, if you're listening to us, you could join the conversation by calling us at 773-942-7167. It's 773-942-7167. And of course, we're watching you on Facebook Live as you're watching us, so we could be able to see your comments if you comment on the line and on Facebook Live. Join the conversation. We want to hear from you. We're looking at solutions to the Nigerian problem, and we are looking at it from an Igbo perspective. Though ndị ada no Igbo, unu nwere ike ịgbaghara itata maka na ife oge ụfọdụ ụzọ dị mma eje ya ugboro n'one, mana oge ụfọdụ ọ ka o si dị anyị ka anyị si ekwu nya izuka mma na nneji nya onube anyị ka anyị ga-asụ mostly tata onye aghọtara gwazienụ ndị ya ada unu ka ha kọwala unu. So Mazi Odelugas, we were saying, so we were talking about, is it personal development, is it community development, and we're talking about confidence. Knowing who you are, knowing what your roots are, embracing your roots, and accepting that. Then what's the next step? After we've figured out this is who we are, I wundibo, nwere amuga ya abulundibo, nwere boss I neje, akpogo nyibo, onye yeli awo, oli nke gbara agba, akpo yo oli awo ka ozasi ike. Kedu ife anyị ga-azasi ike as ndị Igbo na-akpọ anyị?
It's bring our best.
Yes.
And share our best with our neighbors, our family, and our community. Be at your best. So you cannot be at your best if your goal is to defraud one neighbor.
Yes.
And then the other concept that I think is vital, that have actually destroyed the very fabric of our culture,
Yes.
is most people say that the Igbos are individualistically Republican.
Yes.
Our republicanism as individuals, nyabo onye kwechi ekwe kind of spirit,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
the indefeatable, that indefatigable spirit of I can do it, I can make it happen, can only be contained within the framework of Oha. So the family and the community actually constrains the excesses of the individual.
Nkem dị iche wụla ajọ afa.
Nkem dị iche wụla ofu onye ade mafia, ofu osi ade mafia. Yes. Onye sonye na yakwu. Asị na no bụrụ gị no nwere no nke dị iche abụ ajọ afa. Onye ife kwuru ife akwụde bịa. So there is this idea that nothing stands alone. So the concept of Ohaka,
yes,
no fonye
ada
akali ora,
yes,
is very important, because what that says to us is that I cannot be too big.
I cannot be bigger than
the my community. Right. That's right.
Yes.
So if I contribute to the well-being of my community, then I will survive well in that community.
So that
environment,
yes,
is interdependent. You see, and that is very central to Igbo thought.
Yes.
So you see the connection that we are all. You see, he sees himself interconnected, so that whatever you do, you try to be a good citizen. So a good Onyibo will always be a good citizen of Nigeria, a good citizen of England, a good citizen of Germany, a good citizen of Finland, a good citizen of America, because to be Igbo is to be good. Makana ademmanuno.
So he would attack you eventually, because now man kata just a good citizen. Whenever you see Montana way would eat the good, and whenever you practice nya way the good. The equal maka one. So the concept of one only comes in when you're talking about family.
Yes.
Only one family one.
Yes.
So you only have one on a family. You have to have a family. So we don't know now, which means you have to start this at the very grassroots level, and the most basic level of your community starts within your family.
Yes. And our concept of family is not nuclear.
Yes.
Because if you look at the Igbo socio-political structure,
yes,
it is the smallest unit of the Igbo socio-political structure is the Umunna. Is the Umunna that actually forms the community. I was it's no Umunna. Then Ibana Obe. Where's no Obe? Where Bano Bodo. So the Umunna is really where decisions are made.
Help me out. So Imana onye jeku Jesus ka okochala akụkọ si na onye wu agbatobi. So ke kwuru umunna inwere ike ịkọwalụ m kedu ka kedu onye wu umunna.
It's usually most times and most often it goes back to one ancestor, patrilineal ancestor.
Yes.
So it could be a great-great-grandfather,
yes,
from which many branches come. So in a typical Umunna, you may have
all the males.
Usually traced among the males. And truly, these are Umunne because they trace themselves, they share the same Y chromosome.
Yes.
And so oftentimes you find that the Umunna, a couple of Umunna will make up what they call the clan.
You need the 23 and me.
No. So everybody knows each other. These are the people you can intermarry with.
Yes.
And so those are the places where there is an Obi.
Yes.
And there is an Ofo.
Yes.
And there is a time of gathering.
And there's a custodian of the Ofo.
And there's a custodian. Amalonyo, it's not by election.
No, or
by birthright.
Yes.
So Opara of the Opara, who is the Obi of that Umunna,
yes,
is the one who is the spiritual leader for that community. But what has happened is that
I disagree if a quarter.
By the time we started venturing into the so-called urban centers and started creating new identities within the
adopting
then when we come back to the Umunna, then everybody wants to now maneuver and feel that because I have some kind of new learning or new information, that the man at the village is no longer relevant. But I learned a lesson.
Yes.
The last time I was back in my village, 2 years ago, or about 3 years ago, I went to the Umunna meeting, and it dawned on me that is actually where all the legislations that affect my lives are made. They were discussing about marriage, and all of a sudden somebody said, look, we used to say that if somebody came from out of town to marry one of our daughters, that they would give us ewu.
Yes.
Ewumunna. Ewunna. But from now on, I think we should make it everybody, whether the person is from our town or outside of our town. And then it was voted on and everybody said yes. All of a sudden I realized, even if I wasn't at this meeting,
the legislature has spoken.
The rule. There's an agreement by the General Assembly of my Umunna that this is what is to be conducted.
Let me go up to come down. So we march on the streets because we are unhappy. We do all these things, and we go to the government house or in the state, or we travel all the way to Abuja and organize all these things. But when we go back to our hometown, when we go back to our village, when we go back to our family, and we have these kind of discussions, we know how it works.
Yes.
We see how it works. The meeting you went to, you saw the legislation go about, and people do their opinions, and eventually there's a conclusion, and the law is passed. And we know this process. Why are we actually skipping? We're skipping a lot of steps in between when we go and protest and then go home and do nothing.
Yes.
We know how it works. We know how legislation works in our Umunna. That's exactly the same way. It should work. If it's not working like that in the state that you live in, or even at the country level where you live in, you should protest.
Yes.
And then make the necessary change.
And that is where we lost it.
Yes.
Because a whole lot of people do not know about the power of the Umunna.
Yes.
Because the Umunna has been weakened in so many ways through all kinds of influences. It used to be now, I mean, it's Umunna is almost dealt with by, especially the religious institutions, castigates the Umunna. The Umunna, the elite, So blah blah blah. I mean, that ewu is the ewu for them to gather in your house and eat, and in the process you really understand what's going on in the village.
It's bonding. Yes.
Fellowship. It's just that it's organized around the food. But more importantly, the young man who brought that ewu to marry one of your daughters, the story of that marriage is codified at the ceremony of that gathering for Ilin Ewu.
Because we are all witnesses.
Because those are the witnesses.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And so we need to see us ourselves, go back to what had worked for us. The Umunna used to be the one that would say, oh, if they hear that I'm here in Chicago, that I'm not really behaving the way that they will be proud of, the Umunna will summon me home.
Because I have a hack in there, maybe.
That's right. They will summon me home.
Yes.
And they will tell you that we heard that all over Chicago that you're the one who is causing trouble. Yes. And so they will tell you 1, 2, 3. If you don't do it, they will ostracize you. And ostracism, so meaning you are being dislocated from your connectedness to the culture, becomes the highest sanction. So if I'm a politician and I'm out there stealing money, abusing power, discrediting my people, the Umunna will be the first to raise alarm and say, no.
Sanctions,
But these days, the Umunna will be the one running in with they will set up shop to collect bribe on my behalf.
Bulgana must go.
So if we need to rebuild the Igbo health,
yes,
rebuild an Igbo, we must rebuild the Umunna. We must rebuild the family.
If you're listening to us on WGHC 98.3 FM, we welcome you. If you're listening to us on the Facebook Live, we say thank you. For those that need to listen to us on their phones, we're hoping that you have the WGHC 98.3 FM app, or that you have TuneIn on your Android so you could listen to us. If you're from out of town and you want to just hear our voice, you could call the number 1563 999 3221. And if you want to join the conversation in the studio live, call us at 773-942-7167. This is WGHC 98.3 FM, your music, your voice, your station. And this radio station is a not-for-profit and survives by donations from people like you. So we urge you to go to our webpage, www.wghcfm.org, and make a tax-deductible donation to continue to support us. Today we are concluding our conversation on Nigeria, 48 years after the end of conflict. And today we decided that the way we conclude is not to enumerate all the problems that we all know and you know better, but that we will try to give you our opinions on what the solution should be. And we're starting from community, and we've talked about community and family. So if we are going to build a solution, if we are going to actually make things better, we have to go back to where we have to be. We have to build a stronger community by building stronger families and allowing the family traditions and legislation through the Omunna to continue to persist.
Yes.
Then after we have done that, we've got our identity, we know who we are, our Omunna is working, our family is working. What do we do next?
Remember,
Yes.
that it is the family that supplies the public servants,
Yes.
the teachers,
Yes.
the policemen.
Yes.
Everybody that works in the community comes from a family.
And what else in that?
Onwere onye si n'enu da.
Yes.
Onwere onye awata na nkụ.
Mban.
So that is the power that the Igbo had and could reactivate. That through the re-engineering of the family, we will re-engineer the community. And so when the forces of colonialism came upon us,
Yes.
and the so-called, one of the things they did was to separate the family.
Yes.
And so when they been a Gundocha, when they been abandoned,
Yes.
so now segregated living.
So they redefined our family the way it made sense for
that's
them.
right.
Yes.
So people kind of like began to draw away.
Yes.
So because I remember growing up, when we come home, that is one of the most important experience that a young man will have.
I think there's there is a lot of semblance of it still left,
Yeah.
because no Christmas, it's a joy wherever you are.
Yes.
If you're coming from as far as we are,
Yeah.
over 7 seas, 7
Yes.
air flights, or you're actually going from the next town over, or
Yes.
you're traveling from Lagos or Ilorin or where, and you're going back home
Yes.
to East for Christmas. Christmas is not this. A lot of people do celebrate the birth of Jesus on Christmas, but I'm telling you from my experience that the Christmas that is celebrated in Anibo, it's not the birth of Jesus. It's the coming home of people from us.
It's the return.
It's the return of people from. It's an exodus. It's
the
an
return.
exodus of some kind. Yes.
Returning back to your roots.
Yes.
The gathering of the flock.
The
Onye
family-
I see Igbo lue unu.
Yes.
And so that goes to show our tie to ancestral land.
Yes.
Because the typical Onyibo is not going to be living in Lagos and now tell you now
Or maybe Lagos were Wamala.
that Ejoa Ebos, you're still, I'm a Lagosian.
No.
That does not mean he's not spent 50 years in Lagos.
Oh my boys.
But he still goes back to the land of his father's birth.
Yes.
Ebisitilianana. That is the way our people say it. And so it is crucial that we begin to go back home. And home means to where we come from, and begin to pull again the values. You see, a lot of what has gone wrong within our culture, borrowed cultures from, especially among those who have traveled outside of Anibo.
Yes.
And so everything is seen as civilization.
But we didn't really interpret that all the way.
Yeah, and also, but again, ndị Igbo si na njepa amaka mana na okwe ka nwamkpa iji jesi ya mụta isoko ni ọnụ enu.
That's right.
Isoko ni ọnụ enu is not the best of it's not the best of postures to have.
Yes.
So there are things to be learned from outside. There are things that we done. So a lot of things that we need to drop, we need to drop them.
Yes.
And so that goes back to Mmoye Jika. Ojanaka. And then two, the people you meet in other parts of the world, some of what they do, it works for them because that's the way they've lived.
If you're in Rome, you do like Romans, man. Inalukwa Anibo.
So, but now, yes. So, but it's not everything we swallow hoon like and sinker.
Yes.
But there are things that we need to imbibe from others.
Yes.
So, but the idea of Isokobonyo is we need to move away from it. And then, so coming back to what could be done at the community level.
Yes.
We've been very effective. Most of the development at Igbo actually were initiated by the communities.
Yes.
Which is brilliant. I mean, in the days of Opera, there was this partnership between the community and the government.
Public-private.
Yes, right. So if you guys have extra amount of money for a maternity home, then the government will supply. The government will supply some expertise.
Invest, right?
Yes,
right.
But that has changed. So what we have now is a situation where so-called governments.
We're waiting for the government on everything.
No, it's not really. They're not
or
doing.
The government takes their hands off on the projects that they should be doing.
They're not doing anything. But then, at the end of the political process, what they want is to be able to come to the community and donate. Oh, 1 million naira. What is 1 million naira when you're supposed to be building roads and building water? So those kinds of things is where I think that our communities should begin to hold the people in leadership accountable. And that accountability should come at the family level and at the community level. So if my brother is the minister or the legislator or so-called whatever public servant, I should not mince words in telling him that he's a failure or he's a success.
Yes.
I need to speak truth to him.
I think our co-host is joined us, Mazi Ejikeme Obasi. Welcome, Mazi Obasi.
Ndewo.
So I believe you've been listening to us and we are talking solutions. I'll give you the opportunity to catch up to where we are. Go for it.
Well, I agree with everything that is being said.
Yes.
What I would like to add is also maybe for us to recognize that there is no Messiah out there. So now, individually, we are all our own Messiah. It is what we put in that we will get out. It's not going to happen. Oftentimes we have put our trust in individuals and they have let us down. So number one is I think everybody needs to get their loins and be ready to work. Second thing is there is power in coming together.
Igwebike,
absolutely. The more we are able to discuss and arrive at things we agree on and come together around action points, the better for us. So that any this divisiveness, only saw a position, a watch user, a guy ready one negiono, or that does not tie in exactly with what you feel, with the enemy. And we are not going to get very far with that. So these are some of the things I want to contribute.
So I want to take them one at a time. So Kembo na onwero nya ineche onwero Messiah na-abia. Brother Barack mbo na run elections say that we are the people we've been waiting for. So no ge lu na ga ebinyo nwezi ndị anyị na-eche mana na-eji ohere a wee sị ka eziokwu na onwero ndị anyị na-eche mana onwe ndị bụ dike onwe heroes anyị chefuru echefu. This past weekend, or actually this week, Ekwueme, the first vice president of the republic, was buried this week. So I'm well in the ha. So Bishop Chukwuma onye na-ekwu okwu sị na Ojukwu anana Ekwueme anana onye na-ebini which is not to say that we are looking for Messiah, but we need people who will take the leadership baton and actually do it the way it's supposed to be done. Onwelo Mazi Odeluga, onwe ihe chọrọ ikwu maka Ekwueme iji wee kwanyere ugwu.
Yes. Aboli ide, because ide is foundation.
Yes.
I don't know how many people really understand his, the story of his life. Very brilliant man, trained by his community in the days that Ndi Igbo
Practice, it took a village.
Practice, it took a village. It takes a village.
Yes.
Or who is doing well. Everybody gathered, and so he was supported, and he was able to train as an architect, went to England, came back. I mean, he's acquired several other degrees. But since he came back, go to Oko.
Yes. Akuluono.
Go to Oko and see his legacy.
Yes.
Do you understand? Travel all throughout the world and find people that can attribute their success to Ekwueme,
to him.
When he was single-handedly sending thousands, he sent thousands to the diaspora.
Yep.
To study. Now, people he brought along when he went into government, people he brought along and mentored in the profession that he practiced, which is architecture.
Yes.
Ekwueme Associates was the largest indigenous architectural firm at one point. In fact, in Africa, if you tell me. And so, of course, when he went into government, he
divested.
He actually recruited himself from the practice, and you could not go back to Ekwueme Associates and find them doing all the projects that were done in Nigeria during the Ekwueme Shigari era. That was exemplary.
In the Kitaga, we are Juman.
No. So now every contract would have been done by Ekwueme Associates.
Yes.
But he split it up and then never really got involved with it. But beyond that,
yes,
you ask yourself, what will happen to his legacy? I mean, he brought a private business, hotels. He brought the whole of that Ekwulobia Oko axis.
Had it developed.
It's partly part of the investments that he made. The arts and science, which was how Oko Arts and Science, the present day Federal University began, was his singular project. But being that kind of strategic man, he placed that in that community, and that opened up that whole entire community. But the larger question,
yes,
is who is going to own his legacy,
yes,
to make sure that generations to come will still hear and know about the life he lived. And it's sad to say that all across Igbo, great men have come and gone. Nobody talks about Mbonu Ojike because there's no library, there's no foundation. Akanu Ibian. Nobody talks about Emma Abara. Nobody talks about Nnamdi Azikiwe. And talk about Ojuku, and now Ekwueme.
I Cho Airport or something.
Naming a street, yes, after somebody.
It's not a legacy.
It's a part of what I'm talking about. I need it to begin to institutionalize our accomplishments
and presidential library in Nnamdi Azikiwe.
You got to give it now.
Yes.
So it's either
the school of thought, get the Pan-Africanism.
Where is that center that continues to teach about Pan-Africanism?
Yes.
Where is that center that is teaching about boycottables?
Yes.
Where is that center that is doing the Mbadiwe politics of, we are the men of timber and caliber, that we have zone to zone what has been zoned?
Yes.
I mean, what are those smart and very subtle attributes of our public servants, of people who have, look at Akanu Ibiam, Akweke.
Yes.
And all the accomplishments. One of the first physician trained, graduating out of in Anibo, out of Scotland in the 1930s. An abandoned child because maybe was a twin. But the point is, Akanu Ibiam represented something.
Yes.
As Principal Opodo in Calabar, he mentored so many greats, Igbo greats, scholars, people who have come out now.
He was not preoccupied by oil blocks or how much he was going to make his physical estate larger, or how much money he was going to siphon from the accounts.
Yes.
These are people that made sure that the community was built and developed for the community, not for themselves.
Yes. So the legacy of M.I. Okpara is still all over the eastern region. I'm not talking about Anibo only.
Yes.
It's all over eastern region.
Because he wasn't thinking, no, so
But no. I go to Umuahia, his hometown. You would think that, okay, why didn't he put all the development, everything there?
Fit the bank, the airport. It must be instituted in my hometown.
No, he didn't do that. So those are some of the challenges. If we actually do that, we must be students of history.
Yes. Yes.
And that is what we need.
Mazi Obasi.
Yes.
So what's your thought on continuing along the line of we have heroes and it's good to pay tribute to them, especially given that Kweme was laid to rest this week? What do you think that we should learn from these heroes of the past and take it forward into the future?
Well, I am very happy at what Mazi Odeluga has said. Makana, if you look at the life of Ekweme and what he actually delivered to Ndi-Igbo, you see that it was really all in that's what we need. Let me point out that when Ekweme was vice president under NPN, there was a sort of unhealthy rivalry between the MPN and the MPP, especially in the old Anambra state.
Yes.
It was in Anambra than it was in Imo. And that was an example of where we play politics of destruction.
So instead of permanent interest?
Absolutely. So the fact Namadu not this party or that party, Okendi Igbo is still Okendi Igbo.
That's right.
And that is part of what I speak to when I say we need to learn to put Ali Igbo and Odemandi Igbo above petty personalities and personal positions. Because at the end of it all, that is the only way you're going to create Ali Igbo, Koya, Alademma.
Yeah, an interesting thing that happened at one of the funeral stops.
Yes.
I think it was in Enugu where Bishop Chukwuma spoke.
Yes.
You could see him playing the role of an Igbo elder.
Yes.
Makanibo snada na ikinyada no nuno.
These days,
that is the point.
Yes.
So, and everybody is circulating the video, and I'm glad it is going viral in a way,
because it's taking hold instead of.
So, but what we need to see more people take his position of speaking truth to power.
Yes.
That's one. Two. Okay, si na ibu nwata na ịma ngwa okenye okwu dem kpudo nkata n'isi na ọka Igbo sikwu.
Yes.
Na nwe mgbe oge elu nwata ekpudo nkata n'isi wee gwa ikenye okwu.
Yes.
So let the youth speak, because we are talking about your future. And again, it goes back to the role of the family.
Mana you too ekwu okwu. I mean, I say no nwata kwa aka we so okenye lie nni. You too ekwu okwu kwuo ka nwata
kwala aka.
Ọ bụrụ ikuni baba mba asif na otego gị wa mebere ihe a.
Maka na onye fee eze
nwata bunye nna ya enu. Okoro eru were ogodo ikuke bu onye na nwata bunye nna ya enu
ọkọlọta
ayochie anya.
That's right. So that is an important point. Yes. So we're not talking about being rebellion,
right,
or being rebellious. It's ijikwanka n'okwu.
Yes.
Because that is one is unique about Ndi Igbo. If you could see how Bishop Chukwuma brought out his point in a very eloquent, subtle, and very direct.
And you Caesar. John Marcus say Caesar. To say,
yes.
Caesar. Eventually he ended up praising Caesar and getting them to do the right thing.
Yes.
That's the same kind of tact I need.
Yes. people well on Kanoku, and then you see again, you ask yourself, why are the men of cloth, yeah, but the church, the silence of the church? Because let's go back to the role.
Had the silent Kahana collect the tithe?
No, you see, you see, in the typical Igbo community,
Yes.
going back to the way we ID,
Yes.
the Igbo social political structure is based on the General Assembly and consensus building, Igbo Izu,
Yes.
and Nkolika.
So Igbo I think this Igbo is misunderstood by the younger generation, because I see each time we say this, somebody chimes up and goes, "We've done enough talking." Could you help us understand that Igbo is not just talking? No, discussion.
That's right.
Conversation.
No.
Igbo
Izu is at a very deep level. The only way you can understand it,
it's like coming to the holiest of holies.
that is the point.
Yes.
Ebabu the Santu Santorum,
Yes.
the most sacred place
Yes.
that any Igbo man would ever ask to come to.
Yes.
Because in the days of old, only Nzenozondi Salile, men of truth
Yeah,
and character, will be asked by the community, after we have talked, we want you, 3 of you to, or 4 of you, or 5 of you, to go into caucus. So these men are entrusted with the responsibility of articulating an action point.
So there's a trust, there's a faith, there's a hope, but there is a responsibility.
Yes.
Yes.
Which they carry with solemnness. And they go
These are men of character.
They go into Izu, not to quarrel, not to fight. Because at the end, they must reach a consensus.
It's a consensus.
And when the consensus is reached, they select one of their own, a member of the Izu team, who is an orator.
So in the Western world, if I have to find something that resembles it, not completely, it will be like the Supreme Court making a decision.
Part of it, or you could say the Senate, where is the body of elders with a different deliberative.
They pass it is passed.
Yes.
Yes.
So these men will come together, and then at the end they will say, "This is what we've agreed." Igbo game.
Yes.
Ewe na ajusi Igbo na ekwelo. Igbo kwenu. At the end, Igbo kwenu. If we all agree, then that becomes our actionable point. Now, what you will not hear is who said what during this. I may have disagreed. You may have had a different opinion. At the end, it might be Mazi Obasi's idea that carried the day.
Yes.
So I'm not going to go out and say that we got to Izuim, Mazi Obasi Kanaya. He's kept on, and then everybody side there. No, I'm not going to talk about what happened in Izu.
That's why you went apart. That's why you went differently.
All that the people will know, all that the people will be asked to do is to accept the resolution. If they don't want the resolution, they will ask us to go back.
Yes.
Now, if at the end there's a communal discussion and there are only 2 groups of people, in my view, that had a veto power within the Igbo culture.
Umuada. Yes.
Umuada.
Yes.
And then Ezemo. So the point will be, Ezemo, Ndemo, do they agree with our decision? If the women say then the men will go back
to the drawing table.
If the SMO says the gods are not happy with this,
it goes back to
the so the rule of the clergy within the Igbo community is sacrosanct.
Yes.
Of the
modern day. So they should be men of uprightness who will see truth and speak it to power. So Imangam need every day Nandiba Afro even Emana Bondo Kochuku. Mana, the problem is let's talk about it.
Yes.
The controls are still in the Vatican and then Canterbury. And of course, all the halls of headquarters of the denominational headquarters all over
You beat me to it. The other day we talked about going to 82 Dave or going to the police and then having to have your hands tied because the command is coming from Abuja. It's the same thing with a lot of these churches, except for the evangelical churches that are springing up like mushrooms. Mazi Obasit.
Well, it is. If you look at a lot of, look at South America. Let us take South America for example.
Yes, because those are my
40 years, 50 years ago, a lot of South American countries were going through what a lot of African countries are going through today. A lot of turmoil, a lot of coups, a lot of strong men seizing power, a lot of brutality. If you go and look, do you know that, especially because these are very strongly Catholic countries, the Catholic clergy was in the forefront in the fight against brutality and government excesses.
Advocacy.
Yes,
Just the way
they
they
advocated in the pulpit.
Yeah.
They marched with the people. They wrote. They were prosecuted. Many were killed, but they saw it as their responsibility. All the churches, because away on the street, in Ali, 3 or 4 churches.
Yes.
What are our clergy doing? Like Mazi Okachuku said, are we there just to collect tithes?
Yes.
No,
Where are you when your flock is under duress?
No, it's and the concept of my breakthrough is on the way.
Oh yes.
Yes.
There's hope.
Yes.
And Christianity is built on hope. Ndibo is their philosophy worldview is built on hope.
Yes.
Nkiruka.
Yes.
Nkiruka.
Yes.
So bank Nkiruka. We are not look backwards, we look forward. But the issue still remains.
Yes.
That Namadige Kupulana. And that is the thing that is lacking. That means being able to speak the truth and not wonder whose us is God. That is what we must bring back to our public discourse. Because, for example, if I criticize the governor, what will happen now is that you see, but before, what it will be is, yes,
they will stand.
Oh, yes.
You have to go through.
That's why you have to.
Yes.
No one now. Where is that? Where is that? Where is that in Anibo? So the man stands alone, and one of the biggest challenge for Ndibo is being able. No man stands as an island.
You're listening to us on WGHC 98.3 FM, your voice, your music, your station, and you're listening to Straight Talk Radio, where we give you our opinions straight, no shakers. And we are talking about 48 years after the conflict in Nigeria, where we are, and today we are looking at solutions that could get us out of the mess that we're in. So, Mazi Obasi, we only have a few minutes left. So, if you don't mind, if you could what are the solutions we should be applying?
Well, I think 3 things. First of all, every one of us has to act as if he or she is the way forward. In other words, you can't wait for somebody to carry the torch. In any little way you can, make a difference.
Be the leader.
The second thing is, I think it's very important that we learn to work with each other. We need to learn to work with each other. We may not all agree on every single aspect of what we pursue, but the general agenda of the Mandi Igbo na Igbo
Dalo Mazi Odeluga.
Ofife ga-agwa ndị Igbo bụ ka ibido n'efifie chụba ewu ojii.
Taa ugbo
Ka ibido n'efifie chụba anya bụ gịnị?
ewu ojii.
And nkwụcha abụrụ ụjọ.
Yes.
N'ụkpana okpoko gburu
ntị
chilie.
Yes.
Anyị ga-agba mbọ mee ife anyị ji bụrụ Igbo, maka na asị na okoti emerife o ji bụrụ okoti, ụmụaka ekpoli ya n'ọkọchị,
ọ bụ na
kpogide ya n'udu mmiri,
agwọ emeghị ife o ji wụrụ agwọ, ụmụ nwaanyị were eke nkụ.
so na ọkwa anyị ka ọ dịlụ
Yes.
ịbụ Igbo. Anyị bụrụ Igbo, ụwa ga-afụ ka Igbo si eme, fa maka Igbo dị.
Yes.
I ga-abụ a great blessing. We will continue to be a great blessing to our world.
Yes.
And our place will be a place of pride. Ada ama bekee bịa ba anyị ka fa mụrụ ife anyị na-eme. Mụtịa
Gbakalizi anyị n'egwu.
wee gbakalịa wee bịa tisaa nke anyị wee je mee ebefa dozie ebefa. Maka na ọtụtụ ndị so wee okobo obodo a bụkwa Igbo. Mana bọsị ọbụla bọsị a ga-achụ nta ka bọsị nta ka anyị chụọ na Owele nchi.
Eziokwu.
Daalụnụ.
So ife mụnwa ga-ekwu bụ na ọ ga-awọ eluzo oke esi eri udene atọtuo ngịga dịka onye kwuru mbụ kwuru. O kwuru na onwerozi onye anyị na-eche. Nkwuo na Brother Barack gwara anyị that we are the people we are waiting for. Ọ bụrụ na onwe Jizọs ị na-eche ka o si n'elu rịdata bịa gboo mkpa gị, Jizọs ga-aza ele gị, mana heaven only helps those who help themselves. So ọ bara ulu ka anyị na-anya anyị nwa ụzụ. Ọ bụrụ na anyị sị na ya mara ọkpụ ogene ka anyị na-anya n'ọdụ egbe. O nwego ndị galụ through this, ekwugo maka South America, mana o nwere ndị nọ n'ime be anyị na-eme ọfụma. In Nigeria, what seems to work and work great with these not-for-profit organizations, especially in this CSIBIA, they have a goal, they have a project, they establish it, and they work it, and they go through it the right way, making sure that all the corrupt processes are taken out, and they drive the project to completion or work. In Abia Emelogi Medical Mission, Afumakanyagi, Nezegi, Irugi, these are the people. Habia wetanke hamwelo, it works greatly. Hana Guinea Melana Yeneberanya si Kedifenda and Emedema that we should do make a if I nemega to. Why are we not ourselves actually doing some of those things? I gave Memulo why I nature haka habia. Omoro ya kombo ben negin and nagi. Omoro ya konia. I wouldn't in a chijabo loyibo if you better. Idi unemployed. A piece of land akwụrụ na-eche onwere ihe ị na-eme n'ụtụtụ, onwere ihe ị na-eme n'efifie, iPod kpọọ nkata kpọọ oku ije gbagharịa, masọbụ kpọọ ije, ọhaneze kpọọ ije, nọda na one day ka ọ nni na be gị. If you don't start from your family and taking care of yourself dịka isi wee kwuo, ọma dị mma. Ọ bụrụ na ọ dị mma na your family, ọ dị mma n'obodo gị, ọ dị mma n'obodo gị, ọ dị mma na nation ibi na ya, ime ọfụma na imebi gị, ịkwụsie ike, onye kpọọ gị ori awa ịzasi ike, so that ikpudo nkara n'isi igwu ya okwu na ọ bụ na ife ga-agwa ya. Ife anyị ga-eme ka nkụ, mana ekwe m n'ife ndị ọzọ kwuru, o nwere onye ọzọ na-abịa ịzụ anyị na-ekwuzi anya, anyị afụ na ndị mere ọfụma ha agarago, ha ji ọrụ ha ana ekwu eme ka eni this week. Bishop Chukwuma na-ekwu okwu siri kele onye ọzọ na-ese anyị mana ndị anyị ga-asị ha so ha ka nkụ, mana ọ bụzie na ndị ha niile so ha ndị fọlụ kedu ife anyị ga-eme. Ọ bụrụ na ya ebido kịta chedobe ife ha melụ, mụrụbe ife ha melụ, kụzibelu ndị na-eso anyị n'azụ ka ha mebe etu ahụ, ọ ya adị njọ. Mana dịka anyị si wee kwuo, eziokwu na azụ erika, mana ọ dị n'iru ka mma iru ụka daalụnụ.
You're listening to WGHC 98.3 FM.
Spoil you, but we are nothing's friend. From see the first time, after trust instant. Come on, spoil you, get anything you like. Long as you alright, then me alright. Me know your man, that's why I'm alive.